iniciatīvu. Pastāstīšu par mūsu iniciatīvu, kāpēc šodien esam pulcējušies šeit. Es ceru, ka man ir sākuši tulkot. Varbūt aicināšu tos, kuri nevēlas pagaidām izteikties vai uzdot kādu jautājumu, izslēgt mikrofonus, lai mūs netraucē blakus trokšņi. Un vēlējos pateikt, ka maijā, kas ir zaļākais mēnesis gadā, es domāju, šajā mēnesī Latvijas Pašvaldības Savienība ir izvēlēsies rīkot zaļo dienu. 3 pasākumus. Pirmais ir šis, kurā jūs esat pievienojušies. Tas būs veltīts Eiropas Komisijas iniciatīvai par zaļo pilsētu vienošanos. Uzreiz pēc šī arī daudz no jums pievienosies semināram par mēru paktu, tā jaunajā veidolā, kur pastāstīsim par jauniem Eiropas Savienības mērķiem klimata un vidas jomā. Un savukārt mūsu informatīvo dienu noslēgsim ar pasākumu, kur nosaukumā izvēlējamies provocējošo jautājumu. Tehnoloģijas ir atbilde, bet kāds bija jautājums? Atgādinot, ka visam ir sākums un iemesls arī tam, kāpēc tik daudz runājam par vidi, klimata pārmaiņām un tīru gaisu. Un tieši tīrs gaiss, ūdens, bioloģiskās daudzveidības saglabāšana un virzību uz aprits ekonomiku, kā arī trokšņa piesārņojuma samazinājums, tie ir 5 mērķi, kuru sasniegšanā Eiropas Komisija aicina iesaistīties pašvaldības. Pat labāk gan tikai tās, kurās dzīvo vismaz 20,000 iedzīvotāju. Par to, kas īsti ir šis jaunums, tūlīt pat uzzināsim no Eiropas Pašvaldību un reģionu padomes un Eiropas Komisijas pārstāvēm, kā arī Turku pilsētas Somijā pārstāvis, kā liecība par to, kā tad ir būt piedalīties šajā jaunajā iniciatīvā. Lai mums visiem informatīvs pasākums, jaunas ierosmes ilgtspējīgām aktivitātēm, un došu vārdu mūsu pirmajai runātājai. Es ceru, ka viņa ir ieradusies. Eiropas komisijas pārstāvēt, pārliecināšos sarakstā. Viņas vēl nav, bet tāpēc došu vārdu Axel Griffon no Eiropas reģionu pašvaldību padomes. Es ceru, ka Axel mani dzird un var sākt stāstīt par iniciatīvu.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Agita. Unfortunately, I don't have the translation, so I did not understand exactly what you said. Can you say in English if you want me to launch the video?
Yes, Axel, exactly. I was telling that I don't see the representative from the Commission.
Okay.
Among us, and so
we can start the video if you want.
Yes, but before I think we need a technical break for a minute to check with interpretation, because I see that the English channel is not working.
Yes, that would be great.
Yes, so let's have a technical break for 1 minute and chat with the interpreters if we could fix this, because we have participants from the other countries except Latvia. Mia can hear the English translation. So please, you see in the bottom, for those who don't speak Latvian, you see in the ribbon in below parts of Zoom, you see the globe with the title interpretation. Please choose English channel for those who don't speak and understand Latvian. Because if you don't change anything, then it's off.
It's fine now, Agita. It's just because I had my screen shared, so I was not able to change, but now I think it's fine.
I will say now 1 sentence in Latvian. Axel, vai tu saproti, ko es saku?
Yes, thank you very much.
Perfect. Now the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much, Agita, and thank you for this opportunity to make a presentation during this session. Can you see my camera? Can you see my video?
We can see the agenda, but we don't see you, if you mean it. We don't see your face.
Okay, well, but sorry, I think since I'm sharing my screen, I am not able to activate my video now, but if you could see me, you could see that I'm very happy to be here today and to have this session with cities from Latvia and also from other countries if I look at the list of registered participants. Today it's a very important day for us. Thank you very much. It's a very important day for us because we will make a presentation of the Green City Accord. And the Green City Accord is a new initiative that was launched by the Commission at the end of last year. And the aim is to promote this initiative to all cities in the European Union. And today we have the chance to do that for Latvian cities. You will see a video of the Green City Accord. You will have different presentations, one from the European Commission, one from myself, one from a city that already signed the Green City Accord from Finland, the city of Turku. And you will have the opportunity to ask questions about the accord, how it works, and how you can engage in this movement. So I start with the video.
Nowadays, the majority of the European population lives in cities, and urbanization is further on the increase. The quality of life in cities is hindered by the environmental challenges linked to increasing urbanization. This is why the European Commission has launched the Green City Accord. Air pollution is the main environmental cause of premature death and disease. The EU's air quality standards continue to be exceeded in over 100 cities. Securing clean and safe water for a growing urban population remains a challenge. As cities become denser, there is increasing pressure on urban green spaces. Each EU citizen throws out nearly half a ton of municipal waste every year. Inefficient waste management means that significant quantities of resources are lost, hindering the transition to a more circular economy. Environmental noise is a growing problem. At least 20% of the EU's population live in areas where traffic noise levels are harmful to their health. The Green City Accord is a movement of European city leaders with a common vision of making their cities clean and healthy by the year 2030. Joining the Accord means a commitment to significant improvements in 5 environmental areas: air quality, quality of water bodies and water use efficiency, urban biodiversity and urban ecosystems, waste management and the circular economy, and combating noise pollution. In turn, cities signing up for the Green City Accord will enjoy a number of benefits. Locally, they will increase their credibility in the eyes of their communities by becoming more transparent and more accountable. They will form part of a growing network of like-minded cities and be invited to capacity-building activities. At the European level, their environmental achievements will become more visible. Let's make our cities greener, cleaner, and healthier together. Join the Green City Accord.
Now, the next part of the session is to give the floor to the European Commission, but unfortunately, I'm not sure that our speaker already joined the session. Helen, if you are here, don't hesitate to open your microphone.
I don't see her among the participants. I think she's not still here. We can continue then and let's see if she can join afterwards.
Yes, Helen?
Hello, I'm here, but I have a problem with the camera. Excuse me. Yeah.
No problem, Helen.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you very well. I think you can, if it's fine for you, you can start your introduction without the camera.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I think that would be better because the camera I have a problem with. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to join this session this morning, this information session on the Green City Accord with Latvia. Latvia is a wonderful place, and we would be delighted if Latvian cities would join us in this venture. I will say a very short few words about why the European Commission has launched the Green City Accord and why we need your support. What we have noticed, particularly in recent years, is that there's a demand from European citizens for a cleaner environment, and they want a role of the European Union and the European Commission to play a greater role in helping member states and cities to improve the implementation of European legislation on the ground. I don't need to tell you about the challenges of clean air, clean water, managing waste. These are issues which citizens in cities want. They want to know that where they live is healthy. And a lot of cities are doing a lot of effort to try and achieve that. So what is the Green City Accord hoping to achieve? The Green City Accord has two objectives, in fact, twin objectives. On the one hand, it's to encourage city authorities across the EU to take further action to protect the urban environment and to make their cities cleaner, greener, and healthier places to live in by 2030. And on the other hand, is to support efforts to speed up implementation of relevant EU environment legislation locally. And as I've said, this is an issue that has been brought to our attention, and also, as you know, as more than 70% of Europe's population is now living in urban areas, it is going to become an increasing challenge. Cities have therefore a major role to play in achieving good environmental standards and in supporting our work with the EU member states to implement environment legislation locally. Of course, another reason for launching the initiative is to support the European Green Deal. And I'm sure some of you know that the European Green Deal is at the heart of Europe's efforts to achieve sustainability. It combines climate change mitigation, environmental protection, and biodiversity conservation with social justice and economic growth. So the Green City Accord is to support the implementation of the European Green Deal, to help cities to achieve a better environment, to help us in our efforts to support member states. And we have another new strategy coming up shortly, which is called the Zero Pollution Action Plan. And this is looking at air, water, soil quality. So in fact, the whole package is supposed to be supported by the Green City Accord. And therefore today, I'm hoping that following the presentations you receive from Axel and other colleagues, that you will be encouraged to also join. In brief, what does the Green City Accord involve? It's a political declaration, and in signing to the political declaration, you agree to take commitments on 5 main areas: on air quality, water quality and efficiency, protection of nature and biodiversity, improvements in waste management towards a more circular economy, and in tackling noise. And it's up to the city to identify what targets they put in place, what measures they put in place to achieve 5 goals, which are pretty broad outline goals by 2030. So quickly, just to say a few words. On air, for example, it's to achieve a significant improvement in air quality and move closer to respecting the World Health Organization's air quality guidelines. In water, as I mentioned, it's to achieve more progress in water quality and efficiency. On urban biodiversity, it's to increase the extent and quality of green areas in cities. On the circular economy, it's to more efforts to secure a significant improvement in the management of waste. And finally, noise pollution, which is an issue in every city and every town across Europe and across the world for that matter. It's to improve a greater reduction in noise pollution. So we've tried to make the commitment not burdensome on cities, and therefore cities will only have to report every 3 years. We're setting up a monitoring tool, which you will hear more about later, and the indicators are maximum 20 and are already up on the Green City Accord website. Of course, we realize that also funding will be necessary because to put some of the measures in place. And we're also, even though I cannot tell you a lot about the funding at the moment, I can tell you that we are looking at funding support for the initiative. And at the moment, we have already the LIFE programme, which is the EU's funding instrument for environment and climate. And this has been very successful in providing support to cities since it was conceived. And I think it's some over 300 cities have already received support for drinking water, waste, biodiversity. So this is one fund that will be available. And as I said, we're looking at other funds over the coming months that will also support the Green City Accord. So I hope today's session you will find informative. I will stop now, as I'm sure the session is only an hour and a half, and I want to give opportunity to other colleagues to speak, and I'm around in case you have any questions. Thank you so much. Back to you, Excel.
Thank you very much, Hélène, for this introduction. Very clear. So now we will move to the second presentation, which will give you a little bit more details about the Green City Accord. I won't repeat what Hélène just said, but just to give you an overview, as you understood, it's a movement of European cities committed to safeguarding the environment. And the Green City Accord is in line with the delivery of the European Green Deal, but also the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The initiative was launched by the European Commission, DG Environment, but it is implemented by a group of 3 city networks: Eurocities, ICLEI, and CEMR, the Council of European Municipalities and Regions. And myself, I work for CEMR. We have started this project with preparing a vision of what we want to achieve with the Green City Accord. Cities will be attractive places to live. Citizens will breathe clean air, enjoy clean water, have access to parks and green spaces, and experience less environmental noise. And in this vision, the circular economy will be a reality, and waste will have become a resource by greater reuse, repair, and recycling. So this is the broad vision of the Accord. And this vision is translated into 5 goals that needs to be achieved by 2030. The first one is air quality. We are aiming at moving closer to respecting the World Health Organization air quality guidelines. Regarding water, we aim at improving the quality of water bodies and the efficiency of water use. The third goal is linked to biodiversity, and it relates to increasing the extent and quality of green areas in cities and halting the loss of biodiversity. The fourth one is advancing towards circular economy, of course, through waste management, but also with a substantial increase in reuse, repair, and recycling. And the last goal is noise pollution. And here the recommendation is to move closer to the levels recommended by the World Health Organization. So, practically, how does it work? The Accord is open to any city located in the European Union with at least 20,000 inhabitants. It can be signed at any time. What is the process to sign? First, the mayor or an equivalent representative in the city, in the municipality, signs the political commitment document that is available in Latvian. We will put it in the chat. After that, an official resolution has been adopted by the local council. So this is the first step, it's the signature. Then during 2 years, the municipality prepare the targets and identify what actions they want to implement. It's a very open initiative. You can capitalize on actions that have already started in your city, and you can decide what kind of action is more relevant for your own municipality. In the political commitment document, you have an example of actions you can implement, but it's really up to you to decide what you want to do. And after 2 years, you start the implementation, and you report on the progress made every 3 years. So the objective is not to add more burden to cities and not to be too bureaucratic. So we have a very limited set of indicators for each area to report every 3 years. And it's also possible to add your own indicators if you are already working on specific indicators in your municipality. The monitoring tool is being developed for the moment, as Ellen just said, and the help desk is here to give further details if you have questions. So far we have, I think we will soon reach the 50 signatories of the Green City Accord, which is already great after we launched the Green City Accord something like 6 months ago. So you can see on the slide all the cities who joined already. And unfortunately, Latvia is not represented yet. So we hope we can complete this slide very soon with your cities. Here is a map of the different cities. As you can see, it's quite well balanced in Europe, in the EU. And in order to help these signatories, we have also supporters who are different structure. They are not municipalities. They are not-for-profit organization, and they are helping us to promote the Green City Accord, to mobilize cities, and to support signatory cities in implementing their Green City Accord commitments. The supporters can be networks of cities, provinces, regions, national authorities, or other organizations like environmental agency, European organization working on a specific topic like nature, biodiversity, waste. But also universities and research organizations can also get involved in the Green City Accord and take part in our activities. So now I will give the floor to a city who already joined the Green City Accord. It's the city of Turku. And Mia Pananen is EU policy advisor from the Turku office in Brussels. So Mia, thank you very much for your intervention, for being here today with us. And can you please tell us a little bit more about your motivation to join the Green City Accord?
Yes, thank you, Axel, and happy to be here. I'm just going to put the mute original audio. Yes, happy to be here. And first, maybe I can tell shortly about Turku if you don't know. Next slide, please. So Turku is located in southwest Finland by the beautiful archipelago by the Baltic Sea. And Turku is also the oldest city and the former capital of Finland. There is around 200,000 inhabitants, and in Turku region 300,000 inhabitants. There is 2 universities and 4 universities of applied sciences, so it's a very much university city. There is, of course, rich natural environment and also the very beautiful but vulnerable archipelago. And even though Turku covers only 1.0% of Finland's surface, 12% of endangered species can be found in Turku area. So this is, of course, one motivation for us to focus on protecting biodiversity. Next slide, please. So Turku has set an ambitious climate target to become carbon neutral by 2029, and also resource-wise city area by 2040. So the climate plan includes both mitigation and adaptation objectives and actions. And then the resource-wise goal includes no waste, no emissions, and sustainable use of natural resources by 2040. And we are also focusing on nature-based solutions and biodiversity. Then next slide, please. So we have already, you mentioned that you will have a session next about the Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy. And Turku has been active member of Covenant of Mayors. And we are very much in favor of these common European frameworks, which enable us to benchmark our work with other European cities and also share best practices between cities. And therefore we see that this Green City Accord complements the Covenant of Mayors framework by focusing on environmental protection and circular economy, for example, and provides a common framework for benchmarking these. And that's why also Turku was one of the first signatories of this Green City Accord in autumn. As already mentioned, we see that it is positive that this accord mobilizes cities and also encourages cities to raise their ambitions, and also shows to the policymakers what the cities are already doing in these fields. And we also hope that by showcasing our commitments, we would have then better access to EU financing and funding, and also to get better projects and be more attractive partners in projects. Internally, we see that this Green City Accord provides us an overarching framework for our different strategies that we already have. So we are working already on all of these fields, of the 5 thematic fields, but with the Green City Accord, we can kind of combine these as one holistic framework, let's say. And then, of course, we are eager to the peer learning opportunities and to compare and then work together with other cities. Next slide, please. Then a little bit about what we are already doing and what we will be doing in the next coming months and years. So Turku is now in the process of developing a city-level circular economy action plan together with ICLEI and the Innovation Fund of Finland, Sitra. And this circular economy plan should be ready in June, so actually really soon. So this is one of the actions that will be done. The next slide, please. Then also we are developing now a biodiversity program, which will be ready by the end of this year. And the purpose of the program is to better safeguard biodiversity and ecosystems, and increase the amount of blue and green networks in cities, and then better recognize the values of forests and meadows, streams, water areas, coasts, and archipelago areas, and so on. Then we already have a forest plan for the years 2019 till 2029, which also works for protecting biodiversity. So it, for example, prohibits clear cutting on city grounds. And also the plan recognizes the different values of forests other than economic values, for example, for recreational recreational use and for carbon sinks. Then we have a Baltic Sea Action Plan, which aims at preventing eutrophication, reducing pollution, and protecting biodiversity of sea areas. And this also includes actions for awareness raising of citizens and education. What comes to the other areas, for example, air quality, we have already measured the air quality for decades, and actually we have more ambitious targets there than in the Green City Accord. So we want to, we have set a target to follow the WHO guidelines there. And we have managed to reduce air pollution from industrial operations. But what we still need to work on is, for instance, we are spreading this gravel in winter on the streets to prevent slipperiness. So the city is developing different street cleaning methods that would then help to improve the air quality in the spring. And also Turku is monitoring noise according to the EU directives. And the city is building noise barriers in places where we can, and also reducing speed limits in the city center will and has helped and will help us prevent noise. So here are just some examples of what we are already doing. So as Axel already mentioned, we feel that this Green City Accord, it doesn't, let's say, put more bureaucratic burden on us, but we can actually work on what we are anyways doing, but it will just help us maybe to gather the different actions together. And of course, now when we are in the process of making our biodiversity program, then we will have the chance to put the ambitious high and also state that in the Green City Accord. So in the coming months, we are looking forward to, of course, setting these ambitions and then starting the work with the indicators and reporting, and also we're eager to see other cities joining, and I hope that Latvian cities will join as well, and hope that we can work together, peer learning, or maybe in some EU projects in the future related to these topics and other topics as well, of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mia, for this beautiful presentation with so very beautiful pictures of Turku, and also very interesting. That's exactly, well, you reflected exactly what we have in mind in implementing this Green City Accord. It's not about adding more bureaucracy or administrative burden for cities, but more trying to link together existing initiatives in the 5 different areas and create synergies and an integrated approach. So now we have about 10 minutes before we close the session. So it's time for you, if you have a question, to take the floor. So you can either open your mic to ask a question or to make a comment, or you can as well put a message on the chat box. You can also raise your hand when you look at the list of participants. You can raise your hand. But for the moment, I see no question, which means that all the presentations were very clear. So it's good. Don't hesitate to write something in the chat. I'll give you the floor immediately. But in the meantime, I can maybe tell you a bit about the upcoming activities that we are planning with the Green City Accord team. A call of interest for peer learning activities will be launched later in May. So basically, we are aiming at creating pairs of municipality to work together on the topics of the Green City Accord. There could be one cities as a mentor and one other as a mentee, and they can exchange. And we are seeing if we can also involve other partners in this peer learning exchange, such as Green City Accord supporters or other municipalities that have not yet signed the initiatives. So at this stage, it's still quite open. And if you would be interested to join these peer learning activities, then please get in touch with the Secretariat. There are online information sessions and awareness raising events targeting different EU countries. So today it's in Latvia, but a few days ago it was in France, and there will be other sessions in different countries. I stop here because I see a question on the chat. So the municipality can sign the accord. Yes, all municipalities in the European Union, so in Latvia, for example, can sign the accord if they are eligible, if they are more than 20,000 inhabitants. So, and it's basically the mayor or another representative who signs the political document. So I hope I answer correctly to your question. Otherwise, don't hesitate to take the floor if you need. Okay, it seems okay. So I continue with my slide. The third point is that we will organize a meeting on monitoring and reporting to discuss the indicators with signatory municipalities and maybe other municipalities who are interested to join but are a bit questioning how it will work in the future. We had a first meeting of the signatories a month ago, and then the second meeting of signatories will be in June or July. And we see an increase in the number of signatories, so the meetings are getting bigger and bigger. And as you may know, the Green Week will take place from the 1st to the 4th of June. The city of Lahti will do the official opening. And then you will have a high-level conference for the whole week. And the theme this year is Zero Pollution for Healthier Cities and Planet. And the Green City Accord will be represented in a session called Achieving Zero Pollution. And we will also have a virtual stand or room in an online exhibition area. So feel free to join the Green Week and to attend the session and come with your question to the stand. I'm done with my presentation. So if you have any last burning question, don't hesitate to raise your hand or write a message in the chat. So I see there is a question on the chat for Mia. Mia, are you still here?
Yes.
Can you see the question? Christiana is asking about biological waste activities in Turku. Do you know what are the main activities of recycling?
Well, something. Yes, of course, I'm not the expert in our waste management, but biological waste is collected in in most of housing or building blocks housing, and these are, for example, used for to make biogases. So there has been at least citizen awareness raising campaigns also for recycling biological waste, to say that also when you put your banana peels in the biological waste, then you can use it for your car for biogas. But if you have more specific questions, I'm happy to give my contacts and forward your more detailed questions to the experts in Turku.
Yes, thank you very much, Christiana, for this question. And during the Green Week, we will also have a session with a waste expert who will also reply to this kind of questions. So don't hesitate to get in touch with the Secretariat, and we will be very happy to provide further details. So without delay, I am going to close the session. I hope you found it informative. Now you have everything in your hand to join the Green City Accord, the political commitment document. We sent you the link on the chat, and you can also visit the website greencityaccord.eu or write any kind of request to the help desk on the email address that you can see in your screen. I thank you very much for your attention and your participation, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the day and the next session today. And thank you very much, Agita.
Paldies, Aksel, un es varbūt beigās aicināšu visus klātesošos, kuri bija izrādījuši interesi pēc 15 minūtēm pieslēgties mūsu nākamajam semināram par mēru paktu. Es arī esmu iekopējusi saiti. To pašu jūs arī saņēmuši vakarā e-pastā. Tā kā tiekamies drīz jau atkal. Visu labu!